Hello and happy Tuesday. This is one you all have been waiting for. We released to the members a couple days ago. They got access to our 2025 Ornament Makers, and the public release happened. It opened up a couple hours ago, and your orders are already coming in. So excited. But today, what I want to go through, we did a couple quick ones with the members on Sunday, so they could just get an idea of how to place them. So we didn't paint or anything. I just gave them a quick little idea of how to apply them. And we have a bunch of people that weren't here last year. And so these are just some really quick ones we made last Sunday. But today I'm going to go through the in-depth tutorial on how to apply the ornament makers, just some different techniques you can use. I'm going to unbox it, show you what comes in the kit and all the fun things. So the first thing I'm going to do is just go through the 3 designs. As last year, you can buy the Ornament Maker transfers by themselves, or you can buy them in the kit. What is different this year than last year is last year, each ornament set came with, the kit was a little bit different. We are not doing that this year. The kit is the same for no matter which transfer you get with it. The kit does include the transfer. We had a little bit of confusion on Sunday about people thinking they had to order the kit and the transfer. No, when you order the kit, it will have you choose which transfer you want in your kit. And so your kit will come with one set of transfers, whichever one you choose. And then you can also order additional transfers. So to start, I'm going to go through and I'm going to unbox the actual transfers first. Then I'm going to show you the kit. Then we're going to make some things, okay? So let me know. I do want to make sure I should not have an echo, so we should be good. So let's start with the most popular. So back by popular demand is our Sacred Season Ornament Maker transfers. Now these ones are a little bit different than last year. This was our most popular set. Hey, Miss Christine. Okay, no worries. Praying for Mr. Waltz. So we have, last year they were just the wreaths and the verses. And so this year we thought, what if we did the wreaths and we kept them kind of plain, and then we added a bunch of embellishments so that you all could design the wreath the way that you would like the wreath, okay? So in the Sacred Seasons Ornament Maker, you're going to have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 wreaths with verses inside. Hey, Miss Linda. Now you don't have to use the wreath and the verse that comes with it. If you like this wreath, you could use this wreath and then you could put a different verse inside of it. Okay. So don't feel that you have to use it all as one graphic. You can always separate. And then we have all of the embellishments that you can add over on top of your wreath to make it your own. You can add the bows, you can add the bells. On this particular one, we added the bow and we added one of the little cardinals over here. And then this was the actual design. We used this one right. See if you can see it over here. We used this one right here. So that is the wreath maker. You've got ornaments, you've got bows, you've got snowflakes, you've got pine cones, you've got cardinals, you've got poinsettias, stars, some vintage pieces, so many things to work with the Sacred Season set. So that is Sacred Season. I'm going to clear these off. I need to move them over here so I don't cut these ones because I have ones that are already open. The next one that we're going to go through was the #2 top seller last year, and this one is Sacred Melodies, and this one has all of your favorite hymns on it, your favorite Christmas hymns. So if you're new to our transfers, the transfers are 3 6x12 sheets. The designs inside, the ornament size, they're sized for 3-inch ornaments, okay? So we brought in a whole lot of color. If you bought them last year, you will notice last year they were all like just this muted vintage look. We did not have the actual song title over the top. The feedback that we got was people wished that it had the song title more prominent. And so what we've done is we have overlaid the song title on top of the hymn. so that you have that this year. So you've got Hark, the Herald Angels Sing, Joy to the World, Silent Night, O Little Town of Bethlehem, Away in a Manger, The First Noel. And then you've got some of these that have the names of the songs, but they don't have any music behind them. So you can use those as well. Then we've got the embellishments. We've got some cute little nutcrackers in here. We've got some holly and stars. Page 2, this one has more, but they don't have the overlay over them. So it kind of, you give you both options. So we've got Silent Night, again, in a different design. Jingle Bells, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, Oh Come All Ye Faithful, The Message of Christmas Time, We Saw Three Ships a-Sailing, and again, more of just the song titles without any hymns. And then we've got some angels, little baby Jesus, some vintage little houses here. And then on the last sheet, we have some word groupings for you. So these are the hymn titles. And then we've got some lyrics around here for you to use. And they are in an arch or a bent font. Hey, Miss Karen. And that's so that you can put them along the edges of the ornament. Okay, so they are at a bend. However, you can cut out each word and run them straight if you want. If you don't want them on a bend, you could just cut them out and then line them straight. And I'll show you how to do that. But that's why they're all at an angle there. So that is the Sacred Melodies. I got to make sure I get them right. Hey, Miss Patty over on YouTube. So again, these are available for pre-order right now. The pre-order, what the pre-order is doing. So everyone that pre-orders is guaranteed to get whatever they pre-order. We are pre-ordering this year because last year when we dropped these officially and started running our ads, we sold out. We didn't even get to run ads actually when we initially dropped them. We sold out in 3 days. And then from there on, the entire holiday season, they were on back order. And we had people waiting up to 20 days. So as soon as they came in, they were already sold and they went out. So we are offering the pre-order this year so that you can avoid the back order. So they will be available. We're going to start running the ads the beginning of July. As soon as the pre-orders come in, we'll be running them in July and they'll be available to everybody. So this is just guaranteeing that you get them and that they're not on back order and you're not waiting. Okay. Hi, Miss Sandy. Paula, I did not send a live notice this morning because I sent the text this morning saying that the pre-sale was live, and people get really fussy if they get too many texts from me. People get really fussy only getting 1 text a week from me. So I chose not to send the text when I went live so we would not get complaints, because some people are just not. They're not as nice as you. Linda says she has to check and see which one she orders because she wants them all. You definitely want them all. Especially you crafters that I know are the super duper crafting all the things. Yes, you want them. Okay, and then the third one is the Names of Christ. So we brought back Names of Christ again. What is different this year is all 3 sheets are the exact same design. So there's not different Names of Christ on each sheet. Last year we did that. This year we are testing this out to see how it goes this year. If everyone hates it, we won't do it next year, but we have to try things and see, we're trying to make everyone, we can't appease everyone, but we're trying to take the feedback and, change things as we need to change them. But the 4 names of Christ that you're going to get is King of Kings, Son of Man, Prince of Peace, and Lamb of God. And then we have some word groupings as well. So when they saw the star, they rejoiced, from Matthew 2:10. We also have Luke 2:11. For unto you this day in the city of David a Savior, who is Christ the Lord. So we have that one. We have, for unto us a child is born, a son is given. We have some nativity scenes. We have the round nativity scene, and then some of the rounded words. So we have it in a gold, we have it in a silver, and then we have it in a black. And so in the one I did for the members, you can see, it might be hard to see. It might actually be easier to see if I get these out of the way. You can see the, oh, that was better down here. You can see the gold on the actual clear acrylic one. So these are really pretty on the clear acrylic. Cindy says she loves all 3 colors. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I hope people do. It was, again, we wanted to offer the gold and silver, and we didn't sell enough of that set last year to justify doing a gold silver a silver set and a black set. So we just chose to just mix them and put them in the same set and see how that goes. Okay, so those are the transfers by themselves. Now, if you want the whole kit, I'm going to unbox that next. So the kit includes the precision transfer tool, and it includes 10 ornaments, just like last year. Last year we included 10 ornaments as well. A little bit different this year. So we are bringing back the wood slices. So you'll get 2 wood slices. We are bringing back the clear acrylic. So you'll get 2 clear acrylic. We are bringing back I forgot to grab another one. You get 2 of the white acrylic. I'm like, where did my stuff go? All right, well, it ran away. You get 2 of those. And then oh, here it is right here. I was like, I had it. You get 2 of the white acrylic. And then you get, these are all 3-inch. Now the wood is 2.5 to 3.4-ish. It's a tree, so it's not going to be exact, but that is the size of them. And then you'll get 2, instead of the porcelain this year, we're doing metal. So these are metal. So we'll do these. Now, to note, and I'm going to show you when we get there, the metal and the clear acrylic, they both have a covering on them. They both have a plastic piece that needs to get peeled off before you craft, okay? There was some people that didn't realize that last year, and they thought the ornaments were scratched or whatever. No, the metal and the ceramic, I'm going to say ceramic because we had ceramic last year. The metal and the plastic will both have a protective covering on them. And then the last 2 are the wood cutouts. And the wood cutouts this year are actually a 4-inch. We did a little bit larger because we included the bubble topper this year. So I'll be doing one of these today. I'm going to show you how to do the bubble topper ornament on this one. And then we took the embellishments and we ramped them up. So you're going to get a lot more embellishments this year than you did last year. So the first thing that we added is we did add the little snowballs. So you'll get a little package of snowballs. And then I'm just going to dump all these out. You will not get this canvas bag this year. We actually have everything packaged really pretty in our own little branded bags, like you would buy it off the shelf at Target. Like, so cute. I just swung a bow. So I can't wait. They are still they're in the port at Long Beach, but because of the riots, nothing's coming out of the port. So as soon as the riot situation is settled, we should have the bags, and then that's the last, those in the boxes is what we're waiting on, and then we can ship. We have everything else. So you're going to get 4 pine cones. So I think last year, we only did 2 pine cones. So you get 4 pine cones. You're going to get 5 of, these were our super popular little hollyberry bows that have ribbon. You're going to get 5 of these. Now the color of these are going to be a little bit more assorted. These are just the examples that I had. So you're going to get a little bit different mix of colors, but you'll get 5 of those. You're going to get 12 of the jingle bells. I think last year you got 1 or 2. So you're going to get 12 of those. You're going to get 6 gold, and you're going to get 6 silver. So you have all of those. And then you're going to get 5 of our little bows. Now here, what I have is I only have the burlap, but they're actually coming in 3 colors. So they'll be this size, but you'll also get the buffalo check. So we have buffalo check in red and the buffalo check in the white and black. So they'll be this style of bow, but you'll get all 3 colors, okay? So that's the kit. I say let's get crafting. All right, I'm going to put all this stuff aside, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to apply these. So I am going to have my glue gun turned on. Other things that I have grabbed. So you do get the jute this year as well. That was the feedback that we heard from last year as well, that there wasn't enough string, or because the string that we had was only whatever came with the ornaments when we ordered them. So this year we've just included 10 meters of jute, so you'll have that. Some things that you'll want to grab obviously is your paint. I've got paint pens. I have got my plaster, of course. I'm going to be using this Cafe Noir, which is, it's a black, but it's like a deep brown black. So I'm going to be showing you that. And then also for the bubble topper, we're going to be using our B7000. This one's a little bit more liquid than our E6000. The E6000 is more of like a, it's even a little bit thicker than a toothpaste. I want a little bit more liquid because I want to get this on the edge of the bulb. So I'm going to be using that. I've got my sander. And then I've also got, when Joann's by Us was going out of business, I grabbed some of their holiday ribbon at a really good discount. So I've just grabbed that in case, so we can make it a little bit more fancy. But let's go ahead and get started. We will do one of the clear ones first. So I'm going to show you, because I want to demonstrate both sides of the clear acrylic ornament have this sheet on there that you need to pull off first, okay? Because once the sheets are pulled off, it will, you can see it's still not clear yet. So that means we've still got another sheet to pull off. So let's go ahead and pull that off. And it does get a little bit tricky. I find using the transfer tool to help get you kind of catch that works really well. So now we've got it nice, clean, and clear. Okay, so we are going to start with this one. As always, you want to make sure that your surface is nice, clean, and dry. That's going to be important, especially when we get to the wood round, which I'll probably do that one next. But I'm just going to go ahead and take one of these transfers, and we're just going to cut out around the design that we want to use. Make sure you leave yourself enough space. This bow came off too, but I think I'm going to use it. Make sure you leave enough space that you can grab. You have something to hold on to without touching the actual design. We don't want to touch the actual design. So we're going to peel that off. This again is where having the surface saver mat is going to help you, because we can use these lines to help us get it centered as best as possible, as well as getting it on there straight. So we're just gonna get it lined up as best we can here. Place it down. Now this one has a little bit of the holly comes out a little bit here off of the edge of the actual ornament. So you can see like right here, it's coming over a little bit. That's fine. We're going to go ahead and sand that off with our sander once we get it on there. So we can take our transfer tool and we're just going to go ahead and we're going to rub it right on here. And again, if you want to use this wreath, but you don't want these wordings, you could take the seam from inside a different wreath, cut it out separately, and do it that way. So we just want to make sure that everything is on there before we start lifting it up. And you can see this little one is just hanging over the edge here. That's fine. We had so many ladies last year that were reselling these, which is the other reason we wanted to get the pre-orders done as soon as possible. Okay, so now we're just going to come in here and we can just lightly sand off the little spots that are hanging over, okay? So don't worry if it doesn't exactly fit, or if you have like a little bit of edging. You're just going to come through and sand it off, okay? There we go. So let me see if you can see it here a little bit. Might be easier with something white behind it. There we go. Now you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so here we are. Now I can take the bow. This is just another one of the bows that was on it. I could put the bow up here. I have a little bit of space down here where I've kind of left like just this little edge. It's kind of pushed up a little that way. So if that happens to you and you have that space that you're not liking, then you just come in here with one of the little embellishments that you want to do, and we can just put it where it would make sense to put it. So I am going to just push it up a little bit here, and I'm going to just add this little bow right down here. And that's going to take up that space, plus it's adding a little zhuzh to my wreath. Same thing, we're going to make sure that it's rubbed down well, and then now our little wreath has the sweetest little bow. Put it on here so you can see it. So cute, so easy. And then from here, you can just do your string. So if I had one with like silver, that would probably be super cute, but we will, I need like some stripey. I think I'll just use the jute for now. I need silver string is what I need. So from here, you're just going to go ahead and put your string through, whatever you're going to use. Give yourself some space so it can hang. And it truly is that easy. So there's one clear acrylic. Now let's go ahead and do a painted one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint it now, and then we're going to go work on another one because we really want the paint to sit. One thing with the rub-on transfers and paint, the paint has to be extremely dry. Like it has to be dry for the transfers to stick. So we're going to come over here with this Cafe Noir. Again, this is a super dark, it's a super dark brown. So it's not exactly black. Again, just do thin layers because the thinner the layers, the quicker we can get this to dry for us. I am going to do the whole thing in just one thin layer. Because you just need enough to cover your surface. And these are a great time too if you have extra embellishments, like if you have little jingle bells or stars or glitter, or you know how we all have stashes of stuff that we didn't use last year or the year before. This is a good time to get that stuff out and have fun with it with these ornaments because there's just so much versatility. All right, so I'm going to paint this one white, or I'm going to paint this one Cafe Noir, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to do a white on the other one. Because I want to show you how the gold and the silver look on top of the darker color because it's so pretty. And then we'll go through and we'll do a white as well. Cindy says she has all the little, oh, I love that you have all the little embellishments in the transfers. She can't wait to get started on these. I love it. I love it. Yes, that was the idea, that we would have everything that you needed. And then you can just make, you would have so much more variety and versatility is what we were looking for this year. I'm getting the black all over, of course. So how many of you are already crafting for Christmas? Because I know some of you were asking me last month already for Christmas. And I thought we were doing pretty good releasing it in July was our initial plan. And then when we started getting requests for the pre-orders, I was like, well, we can go ahead and release it in June. And then that gives us an idea of how many additional that we're going to need to order. So hopefully we don't run into the situation that we ran into last year where it was just on back order for so long. I felt so bad having people wait. I mean, nobody minded. We literally didn't have any complaints. We had people asking like, hey, is it shipping soon? And I think almost all the orders we were able to ship out earlier than we expected. Like we had given them an expected date for the back order to ship, and every time we were able to ship before that. But I was kind of raised in that, under promise, over deliver era. So know that whenever I give you a date like that, usually we should be able to beat it. But then I also want to give myself some time in case things happen that we cannot control. Like, for example, the riots. Like, we ordered in plenty of time. They would be here already had that not happened, but we can't. Things such as that, we just don't have control over. So we need to make sure that we are, building in that extra time. All right, so we've just done one color. We've got a Cafe Noir one there, and we have a white one. We are going to put them up over here, and we're going to let them dry. And I'm going to do a wood slice while those are drying. So with the wood slice, here's a couple of things. I know some people had some issue with the wood slice last year. If you are worried about it sticking to the wood slice, Mod Podge is your friend. Deborah, we will be selling the ornaments separately in July. Like, it'll probably be the week after we get back. The week after the membership kits ship. So membership kits ship the first week of July. And then I'll be able to get them on the website after that. So yes, we will have the ornaments separately. We did do that last year as well. So we'll do that this year because I know a lot of you want the extra ornaments or you want a specific mix of ornaments. So yes, we'll do that. So this is my trick for the wood, because this wood is what I call a soft wood, meaning because it's sliced, this part here, it doesn't have a lot of grippy because it's not completely flat. You can go ahead and put your transfer right on it. In fact, I did that last year. That's how we did all of them. But what I found with working with surfaces like this that can be a little bit more challenging, I am suggesting just a quick layer of Mod Podge. I'm going to get my heat gun here. And then that's going to give you a nice flat debris-free surface so that the transfer is going to give you no issue at all. Sandy, if you just ordered and you didn't change the drop down, then you got the wreath maker. This is the one that came with your kit. If you didn't pick a different set, then you automatically got this one. So the drop down would have been if you wanted the Melodies one or the Names of Christ one in your kit. So if that's not what you wanted, let us know and we can have Camille help you. Okay, so let's go and pick a different one. I always like the hymns on the wood slices. I don't know why. They make me happy. So we have the ones that don't have the things over them, or we can go ahead and pick one of these ones that already have it over them. I've already used one of these, so maybe I use this one. I'm feeling Joy to the World. Let's go ahead and take that one. So we're just going to cut this out. Again, sorry, I'm cutting it where you can't see it, but you just cut around whichever one you want. You don't have to cut it out perfectly because the only part that's going to stick is the part that has the design. So the rest of this isn't going to have anything on it. That's the part we're going to use to grab it by. and we're just going to go ahead and center it as best we can. Now, this is a tree. It may not be exactly a circle, and that's okay. We're going to get it as much as we can so that there is stuff on the outside. And from here, we're just going to take our precision transfer tool and we're going to rub it over there. And because we put the Mod Podge, this should come off very easily because it has that Mod Podge to grip too. Otherwise, sometimes you really have to grab it or rub it in really well because it has a hard time sticking to the soft fibers of the wood. So I just keep rubbing it and pulling backwards at the same time. If it's not stuck or if it's half stuck and you're pulling it, then it might stretch the design a little bit. If that happens, just go back, push it down, work the wrinkles out. Okay, so now we have our Joy to the World on there. Now I'm going to get my wax out. Y'all know if you've watched me for a minute, the Dixie Belle Besting Wax in Brown is my favorite friend. I like to use it for anything like this. If this bothers you, if it doesn't bother you, then don't worry about it. Order transfers, hopefully I got all of them. Okay, Sandy, I can check on it when I get off and make sure. Okay, so now you can leave it like this, or you can go back through our set. So this is, if I only have this set, I can just look through these and see if there's anything else that I want. So I could put some of this wording, the Born of King of Angels, if I wanted. I can put one of these bows, which I think I'm going to do. Well, actually, I'm going to wait because I have the other bows. So I got too many things over here now. So I'm actually going to get one of these bows and I'm going to use that for it. But before I do that, again, you could layer other designs on here. If you want to add some holly, it's mix, match, and layer. Okay, so you can add whatever you want on there. But for our purposes right now, I'm going to go ahead and antique the edges. So I'm just dipping. This is our antique applicator tool. I'm just dipping it in the wax. I'm going to get the excess out. And I'm going to start on the areas that are sticking out. And all I'm doing is I'm just trying to, basically you're kind of tricking the eye a little bit. Okay, and if this happens to you, so this just happened. These are trees, okay? And as the wood gets handled, the bark could come off on you like that. So I'm just going to take a teeny bit of hot glue and I'm just going to work that back down. I'm going to get it back where it was. And I'm just going to glue it back on, okay? Simple as that. So if that happens and you're missing part of your bark, that's all you do. Simple, easy fix. We don't panic. All right, and then I'm just going to come through here. And then just keep in mind as you're doing the wax, you don't want to kind of push it back because I think I kind of ripped it off a little bit by doing that. So I'm just coming around in the edges and the sides that don't have as much of the exposed wood and just coming in a little bit more on that side. So I'm just basically creating an optical illusion. And we don't have to do a ton up here because I'm going to put my bow there. So we're good there. So from here, our little bows have the gold holly on the front. So what I like to do is if I can set that bow right on top, that's ideal. You can put it to the front as well. But because this is a little bit thicker, I'm going to go ahead and, which ribbon am I going to use? I'm trying to figure out if I have one that matches that. I think we'll just go with the buffalo check. So let me get my scissors again. Hey, Nona. So with your string, you can use your jute as well. It's really up to you, like what you want to use. But if you want a different type of hanger, if you want ribbon instead, we're just going to go ahead and glue it like so. So we'll turn it around, make sure we have it straight. And then we're going to attach these. So I am going to cut them straight. And we'll probably have to do one and then the other. I'm going to get my little cat paw so I don't burn my fingers. So we are going to have to do one and then the other because so we can get the ribbon to stick to each other. And then you just kind of want to make sure when you cut it, it's kind of flat so it does look good on the back as well. And then if you're like me and you just did it crooked, then you're just going to rip it off and you're going to move it over because that's what we do. Lord have mercy. Okay. If this happens, you take your precision transfer tool and you just peel it right off and nobody even knows that it happened, okay? Because sometimes that happens. All right, so before we get it on there again, let's make sure that it's straight. All right, there we go. I thought I had it down straight, but another reason I love the precision transfer tool because mistakes happen and it's okay. We just fix them and we move on and nobody's going to know. Like you can't even, there's nothing there. So we don't panic. Okay, so now you have the choice whether you want to stick the bow like up on top here or you want to stick it more on the front. I am going to try and get it sat right on this little edge here. So I'm going to put my glue on the little edge. I'm going to hold the bow and then just pop it right on top there. And that's going to allow it to kind of take up some of that depth that we had. So then you have, let me show it this way. So cute with the little bells. Show it this way so you can see it. So how cute. All right, so that is number 2. Let's go back to our painted ones and see how we're doing with the paint. All right, so this one, we've got it nice and dry. I can tell that it is dry. We're good. And we're going to switch to the names of Christ. So let me get these ones out of the way. Now, I have done a gold one on there, and it is so pretty. But I have not done a silver yet. So I kind of want to see what the silver looks like. And then we also have our topper we're going to do. So I was thinking of doing the topper on the white one, but you could also do the topper on the gold, on the darker one too. I think I'll do the white one. All right, so we got to figure out which verse we want. See, this is the hard part. It's the deciding. All right, I think I'm going to do the little unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior who is Christ the Lord. I think we're going to do that one. Now you could do these on the acrylic ones as well. Just as pretty. So again, you're going to want to center your design somehow so that you can tell. So we can move it all the way up here, or we can push it more to the bottom, which will give us more room to put something else up at the top. I think I'm going to put a star up there. So we'll go ahead and peel this off. Always do like to try and give it like a test run, so to say. And I'm using my lines here to kind of get the script as straight as I can. Then we're just going to come through and we're going to go ahead and rub it on. Now, each of these words is a separate graphic. So as we're peeling, we do need to make sure that it's down. So I do continue to rub as I peel just to make sure. Don't go too fast. We don't want to lose any of the wording. This is generally where people have challenges. So either A, your paint's not dry, or B, you're going way too fast. So yes, they do rub on easily, but we want to make sure that everything is down before we're completely removing the top. All right, so we can see that it comes completely off there. And then this is what is left. So you can see the silver looks really pretty on the dark backgrounds. Same with the gold. And then from here, we have these other words. If I wanted to add rejoice up here, if I want to add, I was thinking of actually adding the star. I'm kind of don't want to add too much. So you know me, I kind of try and overdo it, and then it just gets to me. It can get to be a little too much. All right, so we're gonna get a couple of these silver bells and one of my little bows here. All right, I think we're gonna do that. Now, if we want to use, again, the ribbon's not included. This is just from my stash. I am going to grab my easy beater because we have a very small hole here. And so whenever we're trying to get something through a small hole, it can be challenging. So that's when we use the easy beater to stick it through. Basically, you're going to stick it through. You're going to put your ribbon or your jute or whatever it is that you're trying to get through the hole, and then you're just going to pull it through. And then that's going to loop that for us so that we don't have to try and get the ribbon through that little tiny hole. So I am going to do the same thing, and I'm going to string my, I'm going to see how it looks with just one bell strung. If I can, I don't know if I'm going to like how it looks with just the one. All right, so same thing. I just stuck my easy beater through the hole in the bead or in the bell, and then I'm just sticking my ribbon through. Now you do have to use a little elbow grease sometime depending on how tight of a space you're trying to get that through. So I just want to see, well, I stuck it through the one on the back and I wanted it in the one on the front. All right, I'm just trying to see how this looks. Oops. All right, do the hole first. Hi, Elizabeth. Cindy says, wow, I love it. Yeah, the silver and the gold look really pretty on the dark backgrounds. Okay, so again, just stick your jute or your ribbon or whatever you have through, and then we're just going to yank it through. And you do have to work it a little bit. These beads, the hole is very small, so even if you can just get it a little bit of the way through, and then you can manually pull out the rest. Really, we're just trying to get it through the ribbon there. All right, then we can remove our beater and we can place it on here. So I just kind of want to see what it looks like or if it looks good there. I actually don't like that at all. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and knot it. Now you don't have to put a knot at the top of your ribbons. I mean, this is totally up to you. I'm almost thinking what would be cute here. I don't have any black. I'm thinking I need to buy more stuff. I think we might be able to do these as little jingle bells. Let me do this. Sometimes you just come up with stuff on the fly, and that's kind of where I'm at. All right, so I'm gonna loop these through here because I want them to like hang and jingle. All right, so I'm gonna tie some knots at the end here. Now for these not to come off, it looks like that's a big enough knot, so we're good there. With the ends, if you're worried about them coming undone, you can add a little bit of glue to that part there. And I'm gonna have this one a little bit longer. There's something about the sound of jingle bells that is, I don't know, comforting. Like it might be my favorite part of Christmas. Okay, so in this example, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna glue these right here. And you can always manipulate them to how you want them to hang. So just so we can get a visual, this is kind of what I'm going for. So however I want them to hang, that's how I'm going to attach them. If I want it a little bit wider, I can make them go a little bit wider when I glue them. Or if I just want them to hang like so, we can have them hang like so. So once they're down there, I'm going to take my other, our bow is going to be our little camouflage here. And we can add it just like that. Now I tied one knot, I didn't tie the other, but I do need to have a knot up here so that they can actually hang this. And then you're going to want to clip your ends at an angle so we don't fray. And there we go. So that could be another version if you wanted little hanging jingle bells on your ornament. So that is another option. I am going to do the white acrylic. Well, actually, we need to do the metal. Let's do the metal again. Like I had mentioned, both sides of this are going to come with a clear sheet you're going to want to pull off, okay? Also, if you did your wood slice before anything, then make sure that your mat and area is free from debris from that wood slice, because we don't want that to get under any of our other designs, okay? So again, I'm just taking my precision transfer tool to catch the edge of the coating, and we're going to go ahead and take that off. And that's on there so that these don't get scratched in transit. So I'm going to go back to the wreath maker, and I am going to do, this nice bright green one here, and we're going to add some more things to it. So we'll go ahead and cut out what we need. I am going to just leave the verse inside of it, but again, you can switch it out and do a different verse. Don't feel like you need to do the verse that's in there. All right, and then we're just going to pull off the back. We're not going to touch any of this. And this is going to cover the hole, and we're fine, okay? So go ahead and cover the hole. We'll get our transfer tool, we'll rub this in, and I'm going to show you how to fix the hole here in just a moment. So we've got our wreath on there. Rubbed it on good. We'll go ahead and peel it off. Again, make sure all of our letters in the middle are down really well. All right, so now our little hole that we need for the string is actually covered. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take some scissors, some tiny scissors. We're gonna just clip in there. Just give it enough that you like poked at least a little hole through there. And then you're going to take a pencil or a pen or something. You're going to go from the front, push it through, and just press it down. You don't want to go from the back. See, those are the extra pieces that we didn't need. You want to go from the front, push it through, and then you've got your nice clean hole there. So we're good there. And then now we can go pick some different things to put on it. So this one is pretty plain. So I feel like we could do some poinsettias on here. Just depends on what color we want to bring in. Let me go grab one of these poinsettias. And with these, you're just going to mix, match, and layer. So we can put these, I just want to make sure I put it where I'm not going to cut off any of my words. I feel like that could be really pretty right there. So we'll just take it. I'm going to take it all the way in there. And this allows us to decorate the wreath any way that we would like. So everyone's can be different. You're not going to have ornaments that look like anyone else's because you can have your own creative spin to it. So again, just making sure everything is down, attached. We have the tiniest part of the poinsettia leaf that is hanging off over the edge here. So that's where we're going to get our, wherever we did, I was like, what did we do with our sanding tool? Same thing, we're just going to lightly come and just sand it off. Not crazy, just gently. So we have that. And then let's see what else we can put on here if we want to do, we already have the red poinsettias. So I am going to we could do a simple little red bow. That one might be cute. We could do a bigger bow with some bells. I think I'm going to do just this thin little red bow. I'm a simple girly, I swear. I just like to try and keep it simple. Oh yes, no problem. Cindy says, glad I mentioned about peeling the thing. Truth be told, Cindy, when I did the ones for you guys on Sunday, I didn't realize it had it, or I would have said something then. I was getting ready today and I noticed it was peeling back on one of my sample ones. And I was like, oh, this one has a cover too, which makes sense. But yeah, I didn't realize it either when I did the one on Sunday. So the one that I did on Sunday with you all, it is on top of the plastic. So technically this whole thing will peel right off. But that's how we learn. If that happens, you can just peel it off and start over. All right, so we've got the simple little bow there. And then if I wanted to add anything else, again, I could put like one of these little cardinals over here. This one might be cute. Let's do that one. I'm going to put this little cardinals on here. That's my son's alarm for tutoring, but my husband's already on it, so we're good. All right, and I don't want everything like even Steven over here, so I'm just going to go ahead and push this little cardinal guy kind of out to the side so it's not right across from that. And then we can put him down here with the little lantern. You don't want to overwork what you already did over here. So I'm not scraping those. I'm just staying on the little spot here. There we go. So I feel like that's pretty good there. So that's one of the wreath makers where we've just layered our designs on top of our wreath with our wording. So from here, we can take our jute, and I didn't open my little bundle, but because I have a whole little string here. But we can take our jute, stick it through here, loop it up, and then if I hadn't done that little bow at the top, we have all of our little embellishments. I could come in and do the burlap little bow on there would be super cute too. I already did the bow, but that just gives you, more options. You can just glue that one there. You can make a little jute bow. So many different options. So with that, let's go ahead and do the snowflake one. So with the bulb, what you're going to want to decide is A, what you want behind in the scene, and B, what you want to put in. You don't just have to put the snow in there. We can actually put the pine cones and the snow. So what I like to do is the first thing that we're going to want to do is you're actually just going to snap this little piece off, and you just kind of work with it a little bit. I think I took my little pliers last time I did it. You can also hide it under a bow if you don't feel comfortable snapping it off. You can put it on here and just hide it under the bow. So if you're not feeling so comfortable snapping it off, then you can do it that way too. But it should, if you're gentle enough, it should you just keep working it back and forth, and it will just snap that little piece off. Now it has a little sharp edge here, so I'm just going to try and get that. And then I will still use the bow to cover that little piece, but it's up to you whether you want to snap it off or not. But what I like to do first is kind of get an idea of how much stuff I want in here. So I'm going to put some snow in there, and it really doesn't take much. And then we have the pine cones. We also have some bells. So what I like to do is just kind of get an idea of what do you want it to look like, basically. So I'll put some things in there and decide, like, do I like that? Do I want something different? I think I'm just going to use the pine cones for it. So from there, gotta get my color side. Now I want to figure out what graphic or what graphics do I want that are going to show behind it. So I'm going to go to, I thought these little houses were so cute. So I'm going to cut out the little houses. And I am going to add some words too, but I'm basically just trying to figure out how everything's going to lay in there. So again, we know that this is going to take up like the bottom half. So right now, I'm just going to get in a visual. So you can put your things on here and kind of play with it and see what it is that you would like it to look like. I was kind of thinking these would be cute if they were like neighbors. So whoop, whoop, or see if that happens. Okay, I'm just gonna trust my gut on that. So I know I need to stay up higher. We can always take some snow and pine cones and stuff out of the snowball if it comes up too high. But I do know that I need to be up a little high. And then I can take some of these wording. Like if I want to use Joy to the World. I can just cut out. Sorry, I keep going where you can't see. I'm going to go ahead and just cut out this Joy to the World. And then what I'm going to do is put this stuff. I'm just going to put my little pile over here. We'll pour it back in there. What we need to do is figure out, are our words going to fit inside the bubble or outside the bubble? So I need to keep them down about yay big. So I think that's going to work right there. And I am going to move this to where I need the letters to stop, so that when I put it on back on here after I take the top off, I know that's where it needs to be, okay? So go ahead and take the back off. And then I know that these letters need to stop where this line is. Otherwise, they're not going to be in my bubble. So we'll go ahead and put the Joy to the World on there. And then when I started doing it, it did move the tiniest little bit. So I'm going to pull it back up before I go any further. And push the rest of these down. And we're just going to be careful because we want to make sure we get all of the little parts of the letters. There we go. So I'm going to check again, make sure I'm in the bubble. We're in the bubble. We're good. Okay, so from here, I can go ahead and figure out where I want my little houses. I actually feel I'm going to do this one a little bit higher. And then I'll do this one just a little bit, a teeny bit lower, so that they're not all in a line. I am going to want to figure out how far I need to be in the middle though, because the bubble is going to, I don't want my trees on the outside of the bubble. So for this part, there's a lot of going back, going forth, going back, going forth to figure out what you want. So basically I need to make sure that this one doesn't come past right about here. Again, we're just going to use our lines. Push that one down. Go ahead and come up. So my tree is not quite stuck, so we're just going to go back down over it. There we go. Move it this way, and then just keep rubbing and peeling off. There we go. We've got the first half of our little house, our little neighborhood we're putting here inside. And then we're going to come in and I'm going to do the other part. So I'm just coming down a teeny bit, just so everything's not exactly the same height. And again, we're just going to rub everything, and there we go. So we have our little neighborhood in here. We can put our little bubble on and everything still looks great. Okay, so now I can go back through and I can put all of my little snow back in here. Now with this one, what I think I am going to do is I'm going to get my paint markers out and have a little bit of fun with this topper here. I think it might just be easier to pour more snow in here than it is to like find the snow off my counter here. So we'll do that. Okay. So again, just getting a look at it. I want to see like where we're at with the amount of snow and pine cones. And this is kind of where it's at right now. So one of the pine cones is really big. The other one's a little bit smaller, but you can just shake it around to see how you like it. Now from here, what I want to do is I am going to have a little bit of fun with this top here. So I want to kind of pull in some of the colors here. So let me trying to find like a piece of, you would think I would have paper like readily available. I don't. We're going to use this because it's right here. So with the paint markers, you do always want to get them started on something. So I'm just going to go through with the paint marker and I am just going to freehand this. And again, I'm just pulling in one of the colors that was already kind of in the design just to give it some color up here. So we just have a little bit of variation from the white. And then I can also come in with my gold pen and go back over just this part here. I was just using this marker on some shells, so. And I'm going to just go over the edges. Again, we're just giving it a little bit more definition. You can have as much fun as you want with these to make it yours. You could do that whole top black. It's completely up to you. All right, so now we are to the point where we are ready to attach this part to that part. To do this, this is where we're going to get out our E6000 that has a tinier nozzle. So you can see on this one, it's like, I don't know if you can see it, like super tiny. So we're going to get it going out. Dixie. And we're going to apply it to the edge of our, actually, since I cleaned it, I'm going to stick it has a little needle in this end that can help like clog it out or get the clog out. Oh, my neck. From here, we're going to put it on the edge of the ball. Now, you don't necessarily have to go all the way around. But to be safe, I would. So we're just going to put the tiniest little thing on here. Now this glue, it doesn't dry right away. It cures. So once we put this on here, we're going to want to like leave her and just let her rest, okay, so that this can cure. So once I get my bow on and everything, I'm not going to touch this probably all of today. I'm just going to let it sit here because I want this seal to be as strong as possible. And if I mess with it, then it's not going to be. You could use hot glue with this. The only hiccup with that is it may be a little visible because the hot glue is thicker. So we're just going to keep going around, and I'm just doing it right on the edge of the little globe. You don't want to do it in where the seal is. You want to do it right on the edge. So keep going all the way around. I know this is a little bit tedious, but it's worth it in the end. We're almost there because I can see where I started right here. Again, you could use the other type as well, but this is a little bit thinner, so it's going to be easier. Okay, so from here, you're going to put it on there. Well, you're going to try not to get your little snowballs in it because that's no good. So if that happens, just push them down in there. And I'm actually not going to worry about these little ones because they're going to be at the bottom. I don't want them stuck at the top, obviously, but I do at the bottom. All right, so I'm going to lift this up so that I can see it, but you might not be able to see what I'm doing. But basically, I'm sticking it over like this, but I need to see where it's going. So I want to get my top centered and my bottom. All right, so I've got it on there like so, and I'm gonna not mess with it, but I am gonna add the little bow that I want on top, and I'm going to do another one of these. So I'm going to push it a little bit up to the top there, right underneath where the string is. And you probably want to string it first, but we can go ahead and make sure everything's sitting to the front and push our little bow on there. So that's going to cover up that top part. Now we're on there pretty good, but I don't want it to fall. So you can see this is what our little globe one's going to look like. Now, again, I would probably string it before you put the thing on there, but I am going to use my beater to get this through just because this hole is so tiny. And I'm also holding the globe on there because I don't want it to come off on me. But I just need only one end of this through. So I'm just going to push this through. There we go. All right, so then you can tie your little string at the end so you have something to hang it. Clip off your ends so they're even. And there we go. I don't want to hang it too much because the globe, this one needs to sit. But that's how you're going to do your little snow globe one. So I think we just did one of each one to give you an idea. Let me close this because this will dry out on us and that's not good. So we did a snow globe one there, and that one we used the designs from the hymnal. We've got our metal one here that we used the Sacred Season Wreath Maker, where we added the poinsettias and we added the little cardinal lamps. We also did one of the wood slice here, where we just used some scrap ribbon for the back to hang it. We used the hymnal transfer there and just added one of the bows that is included. We also did just the plain. What have we not done? We have not done the white acrylic. Where's my white acrylic? All right. The white acrylic does not have any backing on it. So let's do one of these really quick. It's going to be the same as the clear acrylic, but just for the sake of the tutorial, we want to make sure that you have an example of all of them. This one could be fun just to do just the plain black looks so pretty on these ones. So if you wanted to pick one of these that just have the words, or even you could do one of the names of Christ would look really pretty on this one. See, sometimes there's just too many choices. Let's go ahead and do Away in a Manger. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Away in the Manger. And then I'm also going to take got to figure out if I want, I'm thinking I want this. And then I am going to just make sure on this one, because we have had this issue with the other one. I'm looking, and there's also on this acrylic one, there is a plastic. So you want to make sure to take that off. Okay, so you get the nice and shiny. When it's nice and shiny, you know that you have it off. If it's dull, it still has the backing on it. So we'll just take our transfer tool and just catch the edges here. Let's get this off. And I'm going to just take my Away in the Manger. I'm going to center it down here at the bottom. And then I also have this little baby Jesus. This was at the bottom of the Sacred Melodies ones. And I'm just going to put him right here at the top. Go through. This one does have a bunch of little stars, so I want to make sure that all my little stars got on there. And then this is actually from another graphic, so I'm just going to scrape that off. And there we have our little Away in the Manger. And this one might be cute with some little gold bells. So let's get our jute again. So make sure on all of the acrylic, you are going to want to make sure you get take the layers off of the acrylic, all right? This one I'm just going to do one simple bell like at the top here, and then I am going to add a bow. So I'm going to tie the knot. I just strung the bead through the actual jute as I was stringing it through the ornament here. Just move this down a little bit. All right, we're going to do our top knot. Clip our ends. And then we still have room here for a bow. So we can come in and bring one of our burlaps, which would be super cute with this one. And with the bows, you may have to manipulate them to get them exactly how you want them to lay. If you need to trim the edges, clean it up, you can do that too. You know, get them how you want them there. And then we can just go ahead and we can attach it right here below. And there we have a cute little acrylic one with our Away in the Manger. And this was from the hymnal one. So you can see how you can use the different parts for the different ones. So that is just a few ideas of what you can do with the Ornament Maker transfers, depending on which kit you have, depending on which transfers you have, or you have all of them. Again, this is an example of where we used the words over the actual hymnal design, and we actually used this Silent Night over, like this is one over the hymns. These are words over it. We didn't paint this one. That was just a practice one. We've got the gold on the acrylic. It's also a very pretty look. And then the first one we did today was the wreath maker on the acrylic, overlaid the bow. So many different options, again, with this year's kit and this year's transfers. I can't wait to see what you guys do with them. Make sure that if you share on social media when you get your kits, you can share at Christian Craft Paper, and then we can see what you made. For those of you that have not ordered yet, the pre-order is open today. It opened at 10 a.m. to the public. Members, you have had access since Sunday. Don't forget your membership code when you check out. That is in the group and also in your email. Members get 20% off and first access to all new releases. So they are not paying full price for the transfers or the kit. Hey, Miss Pam. Carolyn said she just got them. Perfect. Carolyn says, I was going to buy these because I have plenty. Oh, you weren't going to buy because you have plenty of orders, but you make it look so fun. Elizabeth, the diameter of the ornaments, ours are all 3 inches, except this one is 4 inches. We did this one a little bit bigger so we could ensure that the snow globe would fit on it. So again, this year you are getting the snow globe in the kit, and then you'll get 2 of each of the bases. So you'll get 2 of the white acrylic, 2 of the cutouts, 2 of the clear acrylic, 2 of the metal, and 2 wood slices. So we did not use, we still have another wood slice over here that we did not use, as well as another white acrylic that we still haven't used yet. And so you'll get all of that, the transfer tool, the snow, you'll get all of the embellishments that we talked about. There's 4 pine cones. There is 5 of these type of bows in various colors. There's 5 of the burlap bows that will be either in a burlap or a red buffalo check or a black and white buffalo check. You'll get the snow, you get 10 meters of jute, and you get 12 bells. You'll get 6 silver and 6 gold in each kit. And then the kit will come with your choice of transfers. So when you purchase the kit, you will choose which transfer set you want with it. And then we are selling the transfers individually this year as well. And so again, the pre-order is just guaranteeing that you will get a kit and the transfers and not have to wait on back orders. Because we will be releasing these to the public outside of us. I say public, like it's available to you as the public now as a pre-order, but we generally run ads to new people that have never seen us, and that's where they went all crazy last year. Well, last year we didn't even make it to run ads. We sold out and had to order more. When the second batch came in, we started running ads, and that's how everything went into back order, and people couldn't get them for like 20 days. So we don't want you, our main crafters, not to have them for 20 days. We want you to have access to everything now. So we're giving you access to pre-order and guarantee yours. And then once we release them the second week of June, then it's whatever we have. Whatever we have is what we have, and we may get more, we may not. It just depends on how everything goes. You know how it goes. Life is always changing. Tammy says she's so excited. Pam says, is your husband able to cut the shapes for you on the cutting machine? For these ones, yes, but I'm not going to share too much. But members will have a special kit just for you coming out in the next couple months. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. I don't want to share any more because I don't want the cat out of the bag. But we have some amazing ones we'll be releasing to the members. So hold tight for that. Hold tight for that. We got to get through. We are doing Christmas in July kit. So members, your kit in July is Christmas. I can't wait to show it to you. We have our member bonus craft night on Thursday. I will show you the finished project on Thursday. So you'll get to see that. It's not ornaments though. So I don't want you to get excited about that one being the ornaments. It's not. But yeah, so we have, this is just the first set of transfers coming. We have a couple other designs. We are bringing some stuff back from last year, but we're not bringing everything back from last year. So like the coaster makers, those aren't coming back. We're doing something else instead. So I don't want anyone to assume that everything that we had last year is coming back, because it's not. We just kind of took, you know, a look at, okay, what did everyone like? What did everyone not like? Not saying that anyone said they didn't like it, but you kind of vote with your wallet. So if you bought it, we know you liked it. If you didn't buy it, we know maybe it wasn't, maybe we missed it a little bit. So we are bringing in some new stuff this year. And that's why we changed up the kit just a little bit on some feedback. Wanted to give you some more options, wanted to give you some more ornaments, and wanted to make sure everyone had a chance to make the bubble one, because that was one of our bonus craft nights last year, and everyone just absolutely loved it. So we thought it would be fun to put it in the kit this year and have everybody do that one as well. On the challenging side, I mean, it is a little bit more challenging. You just have to be a little bit more patient, but it's so worth it. Is it not like the cutest? They're just so much fun. So I just can't wait. I can't wait to see what you guys do with them, because I always do like, okay, here's some ideas, and then you guys just like knock it out of the park. So I can't wait. They will begin shipping after the membership stuff goes out. So once again, we're still waiting on the little baggies of embellishments to come in. They're in the United States. They're stuck in the riots in California. So trucks are not moving out of California right now. So they're stuck there. And then we are having the boxes made locally, and they are in being printed right now. So those are the two things we're waiting for. And then we're ready to go. Everything else is here. So as soon as we have them, we will ship. And those of you that just ordered transfers and no kits, we'll probably see them first, because we're able to go ahead and just ship that out. Pam says, I hope the nativity rub-on is coming back. Pam, it was actually not coming back until yesterday. We had a discussion, and it is coming back. I didn't realize how well that one did until I was looking at numbers again this weekend. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was like our number 4 seller. And we had no plans to make it again. That plan changed yesterday, and we're on it. So that one is coming back. So look for that later in July, but August at the latest. Those asking about the Advent kits, the Advent kits will be pre-ordered as well for the same reason. The Advent kits we sold out so fast. We weren't able to release them until early October last year, and I think we sold out of everything in 2.5 weeks. I did not have enough, but I just wasn't sure because we got them so late. This year we're printing the ornaments for the Advent, and the transfers are being made right now. So we'll do the pre-order about this time next month for the Advent, and same thing. And that right now is a fixed amount. I don't think we'll be getting any more of those. My husband keeps telling me, Mel, you might have to order more, but I don't. We have so many things going out. Like, we need them, you know, to share them with you guys, and then to leave so the next stuff can come in. So I just don't want to be hanging out with Advent forever. So my goal right now is the only ones we have are the only ones we have. Pam says she wants two of the nativity ones. Perfect. Yes. So there will be, Pam, you will be happy with the July club. So let me just put it at that. But the ones that you're talking about, we still have to design those. But if you love yourself some nativity, you'll be pleasantly surprised by the July membership club. So that's all I'll say about that, because we're not in the membership group. I don't want to spill too much beans, because you know I usually is it Christine on here getting me to try to spill the beans all the time? She's really good at getting me to spill the beans. But that's it for today, ladies. Again, the pre-order will stay open until Friday at midnight. Then we're going to close it up. And then when we bring it back in July, it'll just be what we have left over from what we've ordered. So grab them while you can, and we'll get them headed out. But that's it for today. Members, I will see you Thursday night. Until then, happy crafting.